Gentlemen, let me ask you something direct. Have you ever felt frustrated because the solutions you've tried just don't work anymore? You've taken the pills, followed the advice, maybe even invested in expensive treatments, but somehow, your energy isn't there, your drive isn't where it used to be, and intimacy has become, well, awkward. I want to show you something today that could change that, without expensive prescriptions, without complicated routines, and in some cases, with results you can notice almost immediately. You've probably heard of natural ways to boost performance, magnesium, exercise, maybe some miracle supplements, but here's what most men don't realize. There's a kitchen-based solution that combines two simple ingredients, and when used the right way before bed, it can restore firmness, energy, and confidence, sometimes overnight. I'm talking about a tablespoon of raw honey mixed with a single common spice, something you already have in your kitchen. The reason this works isn't magic, it's physiology. It engages your body's natural systems to restore blood flow, support testosterone production, and wake up your natural drive. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to do it safely, the precise amounts that are effective, and why timing makes all the difference. Let's get right to it. Take 1 tablespoon of raw honey and mix it with just a pinch of cinnamon. Not a lot, just enough to evenly coat the honey. Take this mixture about 30 minutes before bed, and let me explain why this simple act can make a measurable difference. Honey is rich in natural sugars that your body can use quickly, giving you a subtle boost of nitric oxide, which opens up blood vessels where it counts most. Cinnamon isn't just for flavor, it's a powerful vasodilator, which means it helps your circulation flow more efficiently. Combined, they create the perfect storm for morning firmness and increased stamina. I've seen men over 60 who had all but given up on reliable erections start noticing changes within a week. That's the first step. And yes, it's safe, natural, and surprisingly easy to implement. Now before we go any further, let me introduce myself properly. I'm Dr. Mei Anderson, and for over 25 years, I've specialized in men's health. I may not be a man myself, but I've listened to thousands of men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s describe the frustration of losing their vitality. The embarrassment, the fear, the feeling that this part of life is over. And I've seen firsthand that it doesn't have to be. There are natural, science-backed strategies that can help you restore energy, confidence, and performance at any age. Here's the truth. Weak erections aren't just a bedroom issue. They're often the first sign of deeper health concerns, declining testosterone, poor circulation, or early cardiovascular problems. Ignoring them doesn't just impact intimacy. It can affect your overall health, including your heart, brain, and metabolism. That's why addressing this now isn't about vanity, it's about survival. You're not just protecting your relationships, you're protecting yourself. And the good news is that the honey and spice routine I just mentioned is just one piece of a larger, highly effective strategy that works with your body's natural rhythms. Let me share a story. Richard, who is 74, came to me after struggling with erections for over 3 years. He loved his wife deeply, but their intimacy had all but disappeared. He tried medications, but the side effects, headaches, dizziness, made him stop. His testosterone was low, his vitamin D nearly non-existent, and his zinc levels were below the optimal range. We started a simple nighttime routine. A tablespoon of raw honey with a pinch of cinnamon 30 minutes before bed, along with correcting his deficiencies through safe, natural supplementation. Within 6 weeks, Richard was waking up with firm, reliable erections. His energy levels improved, his confidence returned, and his relationship with his wife transformed. The point here is simple. Small, precise actions can create dramatic results, even after years of frustration. You may be wondering, why at night? Isn't that the time when most people think about winding down, not starting up? The answer lies in your body's natural hormone cycles. Testosterone production peaks while you sleep, particularly between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. By timing your honey and spice ritual before bed, you're giving your body the fuel and circulatory support it needs when it's naturally primed to repair, rebuild, and optimize hormone balance. It's like setting your body's engine to start at the perfect moment, maximizing results without additional effort. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. I've tried natural methods before and they didn't work. That's a valid concern. Often, the missing pieces aren't the effort or the commitment. They're the details. Too little of the right ingredient, the wrong timing, or failing to correct deficiencies like zinc or vitamin D can all prevent you from seeing results. That's why precision matters, and why even small, consistent steps can produce noticeable improvements. Let's dive a little deeper into how this works. Honey contains natural sugars that help trigger nitric oxide production in your body. Nitric oxide is what relaxes the blood vessels in your penis, allowing for better blood flow. Cinnamon, on the other hand, has been shown in multiple studies to support circulation and even enhance insulin sensitivity, which indirectly helps testosterone levels. Together, they act like a mini performance upgrade, leveraging your body's natural chemistry rather than fighting it. Think of honey as turning on the ignition, and cinnamon as opening the throttle. Both are needed for the engine to run efficiently. But there's more to the story. Honey and cinnamon alone can give noticeable improvements, but pairing them with a corrected vitamin D3 and zinc routine amplifies results. Vitamin D3 works like a hormone. It signals your body to optimize testosterone production. Zinc acts as the ignition switch. Without it, your body can't produce testosterone efficiently. So while honey and cinnamon improve immediate blood flow, vitamin D3 and zinc ensure your system can sustain long-term improvements. That's why I tell my patients that combining nutritional support with this nightly ritual creates a 1-2 punch that can be life-changing. One patient, Michael, 68, was exhausted, overweight, and frustrated. He felt like less of a man and had almost given up. After starting the honey and spice routine, along with the vitamin corrections, he noticed subtle changes within days. By the third week, he told me, "I woke up and felt like my body was mine again." His energy improved, his erections returned, and even his wife noticed a new spark in their relationship. It wasn't a miracle. It was a predictable physiological response when the right tools are used at the right time. And this pattern repeats with men over 60 consistently. Let's pause for a moment and address a common mistake. Some men take vitamin D in the morning, or forget zinc, or take it with food that blocks absorption. Others rely solely on supplements without considering timing or natural support. When that happens, even the best strategies fail. That's why I emphasize precision. Take your honey and spice mixture 30 minutes before bed, correct deficiencies, and ensure proper timing and dosage. Small details like these make the difference between continued frustration and real results. Another story I want to share is Frank, 67. He felt embarrassed in his relationship because intimacy had become strained. After implementing this routine and correcting his vitamin and mineral levels, he reported that within 2 months, he felt like a newlywed again. He wasn't just performing better in the bedroom. His energy, confidence, and mood improved across the board. And his wife noticed the transformation too. These aren't isolated cases. They're examples of how targeted, natural interventions can restore vitality even after years of decline. Now that you understand why timing and natural support matter, let's go through the exact steps so there's no confusion. First, the honey and spice mixture. 1 tablespoon of raw honey with just a pinch of cinnamon. Take it roughly 30 minutes before bed. Not too early, not too late. This timing aligns perfectly with your body's natural testosterone and blood flow peak, between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. Think of it as setting up your body's engine for maximum efficiency, while it's naturally primed to repair, rebuild, and restore. Next, let's talk about vitamin D3. Most men think of it as a bone booster or immune aid, but for men over 60, it's far more critical. It works like a hormone that directly supports testosterone production. I recommend 2,000 to 4,000 IU daily, ideally with your evening meal. Why dinner? Vitamin D is fat-soluble, so it needs some dietary fat to be absorbed efficiently. Skip this step, and much of the benefit is wasted. When paired with honey and cinnamon, vitamin D3 sets the stage for sustained improvements in firmness, stamina, and overall vitality. Then there's zinc, which acts as the ignition switch for testosterone production. Take about 20 milligrams roughly 2 hours before bed, with a glass of water. Avoid taking it with milk, coffee, or alcohol, because these can interfere with absorption. Zinc doesn't just boost testosterone. It protects your prostate, supports energy metabolism, and helps regulate your mood. Combine zinc with vitamin D3, honey, and cinnamon, and you've essentially created a nightly protocol that works with your body's natural rhythms, rather than against them. Now, I want to be completely transparent. There are 3 common supplements men often take at night that actually sabotage results. If you're taking these, you could be undoing the benefits of everything I just described. The first is vitamin C. While great for immunity, at night it can interfere with sleep quality and blunt testosterone production. Save it for the morning. The second is any B-complex vitamin. These energizers rev up your nervous system when it should be winding down. And finally, anything with caffeine, including hidden sources in energy or fat-burning supplements. Take these at night, and you're literally working against your body's natural hormone cycle. So here's the complete protocol in sequence. Evening meal with healthy fats. Take vitamin D3. About 30 minutes before bed, honey with cinnamon. 2 hours before bed, take zinc with water. Follow this consistently, and most men start noticing subtle improvements within a week. Morning energy, sharper focus, perhaps even stronger morning erections. By weeks 3 to 6, many report dramatic transformations. Stronger stamina, more reliable erections, higher confidence, and better overall mood. Let's reinforce this with a few more patient stories. James, 72, hadn't experienced a true morning erection in over a decade. After 4 weeks on this protocol, he said, "Doc, I woke up and couldn't believe it. It felt like being 40 again." Not only were his erections returning, but his posture, confidence, and energy levels shifted. Another patient, Daniel, 81, told me, "I just want to feel alive again." Within 2 months, he was walking without getting winded, gardening again, and reconnecting intimately with his wife. These results aren't flukes. They happen when the body is given what it truly needs at the right time. Let's break down the science in simple terms. Testosterone production starts in your brain, with the pituitary gland sending a message called luteinizing hormone to your testes. Zinc acts like the key that turns this signal into action, and vitamin D3 amplifies the receptor sensitivity, so your testes respond fully. Honey and cinnamon then enhance circulation and nitric oxide, improving blood flow. Imagine it like a car. Zinc is the ignition, vitamin D3 is the volume control on the engine, and honey plus cinnamon is the fuel that makes the ride smooth. Missing any of these components reduces the performance output, which is why so many men feel like nothing works for them. Here's another aspect men often overlook: sleep. Between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m., your body releases pulses of testosterone and growth hormone. Blood vessels repair, metabolism optimizes, and your entire system is primed for regeneration. If your sleep is disrupted, it doesn't matter how many supplements you take. The results will be limited. That's why I always pair the honey and spice routine with practical sleep guidance. No caffeine in the evening, dim lights, and a consistent bedtime. When you combine proper supplementation with quality sleep, you're stacking the deck in your favor. And let's address skepticism head-on. You may have taken vitamin D before without seeing results. The 2 biggest mistakes are incorrect dosage and neglecting zinc. Without both in the right amounts and at the right time, your body simply cannot produce testosterone efficiently. Correct these, and you're often shocked by how quickly your body responds. That's why I've had men say, "I didn't believe it, but it worked," within weeks. Let me share one more story before we pull this together. Frank, 67, told me intimacy had become awkward with his wife. After 2 months on this protocol, he said, "We're holding hands again, kissing again. I feel like a newlywed." His wife privately told me, "You gave me my husband back." This is why what we're talking about isn't just about erections. It's about confidence, relationships, and reclaiming the vitality that defines you as a man. Now here are 3 quotable truths I want you to remember. Weak erections are not a sign of old age. They're a sign of poor strategy. If you're not supplementing vitamin D3 and zinc at night, you're fighting your body's natural rhythm instead of harnessing it. And a man who sleeps well, restores testosterone, and rebuilds circulation doesn't just add years to his life. He adds life to his years. These are truths I've seen proven over and over in my clinic, and I want you to internalize them. Before we wrap up, I want to emphasize one final point. Supplements alone won't solve everything. They create a foundation. Pair them with good sleep, moderate exercise, and a diet that avoids sugar and excessive alcohol, and the effects multiply. That's when you move from improvement to transformation. And gentlemen, let's talk about the next step. In my next video, I'm going to reveal 3 so-called heart-healthy foods that secretly lower testosterone in men over 60. You may be eating them every day without realizing how much they're sabotaging your energy, your performance, and your vitality. When you see that list, it will change how you approach your diet forever. So hit that subscribe button now. You don't want to miss it. Let's review the protocol one more time so it's crystal clear. With your evening meal, take 2,000 to 4,000 IU of vitamin D3 with healthy fats like salmon, avocado, or olive oil. 30 minutes before bed, take 1 tablespoon of raw honey mixed with a pinch of cinnamon. About 2 hours before bed, take 15 to 30 milligrams of zinc with plain water, avoiding coffee, dairy, or alcohol. Follow this consistently. Subtle changes may appear within a week, and full results often manifest in 3 to 6 weeks. Your energy, stamina, confidence, and erections will progressively improve. Remember Daniel, 81? He was convinced it was too late. Today he's thriving, gardening, walking, and enjoying intimacy with his wife again. If someone at 81 can restore his vitality, you can too. Age is not the enemy, deficiency is. Correct what your body lacks, and it remembers how to perform. One question I hear often is, can I just get this from food? The truth is, it's extremely difficult for men over 60. Vitamin D3 comes from sun exposure, but aging skin produces far less, even after hours outside. Zinc is in foods like oysters, beef, and pumpkin seeds, but modern soil depletion and decreased digestive efficiency reduce absorption. That's why supplementation is often essential for consistent results. Another concern. What if I'm on medications? For most men, vitamin D3 and zinc are safe and beneficial alongside prescriptions. Studies show men on statins often have lower testosterone, and correcting deficiencies can offset this. Always check with your doctor, but in 25 years, I've rarely seen these 2 supplements pose a problem. By now, the boldness of this video's title should make sense. Forget Viagra. Mix honey with this kitchen spice for rock-hard erections after 60. It's not hype, it's science, precision, and timing. When you give your body the right tools at the right time, change can happen faster than you think. Weak erections are not inevitable. They're a warning. Ignoring them risks more than embarrassment. It risks heart health, brain function, and your overall quality of life. But take action, and you can restore performance, energy, confidence, and intimacy. And tonight, with honey, cinnamon, vitamin D3, and zinc, you can take the first step toward that transformation. If this message resonated, I personally invite you to subscribe to Vital Health Seniors. This channel is your resource for proven, science-backed strategies designed specifically for men over 60. Strategies that don't just promise results, they deliver them. And don't forget to watch my next video where I'll reveal the 3 heart-healthy foods secretly lowering testosterone and draining energy in older men. Your age does not define your vitality. Your choices do. Start tonight. Follow this simple protocol and reclaim the energy, performance, and confidence you deserve. I'm Dr. Mei Anderson, and I'll see you in the next video.